Commerce, our visit presented by Marcus and Mack, voted best law firm and best personal injury lawyer 3 years in a row in the Best of Indiana County contest. Visit them online at marcusandmack.com. You know, typically in the months of July, August, they literally are the dog days, and things really slow down, and there's nothing happening in the business community. Not this year. I mean, no. That thing last week, you must have been thrilled to see the turnout, but certainly by the way that things have been progressing in this area from a Chamber of Commerce perspective, it has to be really exciting.
Yeah, it is. It was great to see the turnout. Really was encouraging, too, in talking with folks and hearing some of the questions. Overwhelmingly positive feedback, which, anytime you have a project of this magnitude, you're always concerned of, some of the people that, especially those who live around the area, are going to have these concerns and have this negative perception of what's happening. I think Homer CIty Redevelopment has done a great job of trying to get out ahead of some of the questions that may have came, and not to say that there still won't be any in the near future, but they've done a really good job of trying to engage the community, even so much as discussing how they're going to try to arrange shift changes around bus schedules so that doesn't cause traffic issues in town. So I think they're doing a great job of trying to being a good community partner well in advance of any construction happening on that property, and I think that's encouraging. So yeah, it was great to see that many people there that were really excited. All the union workers and Sean Steffi's always great to hear him speak. But I think that Homer CIty Redevelopment's done a very good job of this, and it's exciting right now to see what's happening.
From the last time you spearheaded a $10 billion project here in Indiana County that
there can be all the time, right?
There can be some stumbling blocks. Anytime there's a big project like this, there are things to overcome, and they seem really adept at that.
They do. I mean, they've hired the right people that have done this before. So, maybe not necessarily of this magnitude, being the largest natural gas plant in the country once it's constructed. But they've seen a lot of things over the years. So I think they have the right people in place. And it's not to say that there may not still be hurdles ahead of them. I know there still are some challenges they need to overcome to get this to where they want it to be. And I think everybody, from the very, very top down, when you hear the president mentioning Homer CIty, that's pretty exciting. But I think everybody wants this to succeed and is going to put the resources behind it. But I think that there may be some challenges, but it looks like we have the right people in place to help overcome those challenges and make this as smooth of a project as it can be.
Workforce has, since the very beginning, been a concern for lots of folks. Mm-hmm. Do we have the workforce here? Are we equipped to train the workforce here to be able to step right into jobs when those jobs become available? Obviously, that's been a concern for the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, not just with this department or this project, but with the overall work environment in Indiana County for quite some time. That's why you have the Excellence in Education program and so many efforts, the effort for soft skills development in Indiana County. Let's talk about that in this context.
So one of the things that we're doing is we're partnering with IUP and Aaron IU in holding a workforce event over at the Eberly College of Business on August the 7th. So that's going to be taking place where we have invited some representatives from data centers that represent Google and Amazon, as well as some folks from Homer CIty Redevelopment to be able to come there and be able to talk about potential workforce needs that may be needed here in the future when these data centers are built. So, the focus is a little more on the data center side than the natural gas side for this particular seminar, but we have worked with Aaron to try to invite superintendents and secondary education individuals from throughout the region, not just in Indiana County, to be able to come there. And the RSVP list is growing by the day, especially given last week's event. We expect this to be big, but it's an opportunity for us to start talking about what some of the needs may be. From the Chamber's standpoint, aside from that, we are still actively looking to try to determine what some of these workforce needs are going to be so that we can begin continuing our work with the high schools and even elementary schools and figuring out what is going to be needed. From the sounds of it and everything that from the folks we've spoken to, I mean, there are going to be a lot of new jobs created, but there's also going to be a need for a lot of existing jobs. Like we're going to need more healthcare workers. We're going to to need more manufacturers. So a lot of the industries that we currently have here are going to need more employees to try to manage the incoming folks. As you mentioned, can we handle all the workforce needs internally? Not right away, no. We're certainly, when some of the numbers they're throwing out, going to need people from outside of the county. That's a good thing. I think that's a great thing to be able to have people, attracting people from outside of the county, and hopefully it ends up increasing our population even more than we anticipate. But what we want to try to do is do our best to be proactive and try to figure out what the needs are going to be here in the future, and do our best to try to work with our schools, with our tech schools, secondary education, folks, and be able to address those needs as best we can. So it's exciting, but there's a lot of work to do. And this event here on August the 7th is something where we're really trying to take a couple of first steps to get ahead of it.
Is that a open to the public event?
It is. I mean, it's primarily geared towards education, but if the public wants to come to learn a little bit about it, they can. I mean, there are some invitations that have been floating out there. We haven't been actively promoting it because of the limited availability with the Eberly College. To be able to have that space there, I think we already have over 100 people are registered for that event already. But it's something that I'll talk to IEP to see if we can start pushing it out publicly, because we've sent more private invites out, but mainly so far we've just been trying to reach out to those education folks, because the conversation is definitely geared towards them in terms of what they need to do, rather than geared towards the public in terms of what people who may be looking for a job. So that's not necessarily what that conversation is going to be like. But in terms of the public, we'll look to see if we have the space, if we can send out some public invites for that event.
It's interesting. You talk about industries that will have to up their game a little bit, and maybe that's not the best way to put it, but the added needs when you have a project such as this, the restaurant industry is going to benefit from this. The hospitality industry, hotels, the travel industry, all of these different businesses that are going to be impacted by this, and all of them have a grand opportunity before them, but they all have to be prepared for them.
One of the things we're working on, I just had a conversation Friday with some folks about this, but we're trying to put together a couple of workshops for businesses in the area on how they can benefit from what is going to be happening in Homer City. So keep an eye out for that if you're a small business. We've done a number of workshops already where we've partnered with the Small Business Association, the SBDC, JARI out of Cambria County, and the TEC here, the Technology and Entrepreneurship Center in town. And we're looking to continue a number of workshops here over the next few months. We have one coming up next week that's focused on social media. But one of the things that we're looking to do is create a workshop that is specifically focused on Homer City and how businesses can benefit for what's happening there and what they need to do to prepare for that. Part of what we're doing is we're planning a trip to visit a couple of data center sites outside of Pennsylvania, and trying to interact with some of our counterparts from those areas to see exactly what types of impacts it's had with the business community, the workforce, the community at large, and just some of the things that we need to do to prepare for what is coming. But we want to do a good job at preparing our businesses. Like I've already talked to some of the people in Homer City, said, if you're looking to open up a restaurant, that's a great place to do it. And if you do have a restaurant there, it'd be great to start opening for lunch, because when you have a couple thousand people passing your place every day on the way to work and looking for a place to eat at lunchtime, you stand to really benefit from that if you're in that area, because as they said, there's only a couple ways in and out of that plant, and there are a couple places they could go right past, and those people do need to eat almost every day. So it's going to be it's going to be exciting. But there are a lot of businesses can benefit from that, I think, and it's going to be something that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah, so we're watching all of that unfold before us while life goes on a daily basis for you and for the Indiana County Chamber of Commerce. Getting closer, I would assume, to being able to move into the new digs.
Yeah, we are probably a couple months away yet. I mean, the construction is underway, and we've been inside a couple times, and it is really exciting to see what's happening inside of that building. Still going to be a beautiful building once you walk into that, and I can't wait to be able to hold our open house once that is up and running. But we certainly anticipate by light up night and hopefully by mid fall we'll be able to get in that building and actually be able to show it off a little bit. But it's coming along very nicely, and so grateful to First Commonwealth Bank and the commissioners and Byron Stauffer and everybody who's worked hard into making this happen. So we're getting close to moving in there, and that's exciting. It's all coming together here in the county, and we're also working on. I just give a quick plug. We're trying to plan our Eggs and Issues event for this year. I don't know if you're familiar with this, and by your news, I'm assuming that you are, but there's a little budget issue going on right now in Harrisburg. What? So, in terms of scheduling, the senator, State Representative Struzzi, Representative Smith, to be able to get an Eggs and Issues event, where we're hoping to finalize a date here soon, but it's looking like the first week in September, maybe the date we hold our Eggs and Issues. So keep an eye out for that, and I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk to those folks about once we have them there. So, and then a quick plug for our Business Hall of Fame, which is coming up on September the 18th, and that'll be at the Indiana Country Club. And invitations should go out here in the next 2 weeks, and we've got a great class, and it's exciting. We event just a week ago with Senator McCormick, and it's my understanding he'll be coming up for that event, as he has a relative that will be inducted into the Hall of Fame, John McCormick, from a little bit up north in Indiana County, and I think the senator may be coming up here to honor that relative as well. So busy couple of months here, and as I mentioned, our workshop at the TEC next week. That all those events you can check out IndianaCountyChamber.com and go to the events page, and you can register. And August is going to be a busy month as well. We have a number of business after hours events scheduled, so you can get on there and check those out and hopefully attend one of those. So yeah, these are not the dog days of summer for us. It's been a really busy couple of months, and I anticipate that to continue throughout the rest of this year.
Yeah, it's going to grow exponentially is what's going to happen.
Yeah, so
that's a good thing.
It's a great thing. And August 7th as well, the ribbon cutting for Raising Cane's down the street as well. And I have some boys at home who are pretty excited about that coming. So it's great. And I think Indiana County, it's exciting to kind of watch how this is going to unfold over the next 5 to 10 years, and to see how this county is going to be shaped. And I think, given where we were a couple of years ago with some uncertainty around some things, and now seeing what's happening, not just with Homer City, but IUP, IRMC, there's so many good things happening throughout the community, and manufacturing, we're seeing some growth there with a number of different businesses. This is an exciting time for the county, and when people hear some of the excitement and the positivity that's being thrown out there, it is real. So, hold on, and we're going to do our best to try to be proactive and be ready to go once it all starts hitting.
It is amazing to me the number of different angles that we can approach the business environment here in Indiana County. Yeah. Chamber of Commerce has to be right there in the middle of it. I'm talking with some folks about the Challenger Center and what's going to be going on there. My goodness.
Yeah, and that's a whole other project that I can't wait to see open. From our workforce education, STEM, whatever you want to say, it hits so many different areas, and this county is poised for some great things. And it's when I talk to some counterparts in Harrisburg, everybody says, "Boy, Indiana County just got a spotlight on it right now." And I see some of the things in the pipeline, and I think I heard somebody say on Friday, it may not be a spotlight, it may be a strobe light here before too long. So, there's some great things happening now, but there's even more that are in the pipeline once it all starts to hit here. Our county is poised for some good things, but we still got some challenges ahead of us and a lot of work to do.
Well, bypass the strobe light, go right to the glitter ball.
Why not?
Mark Hilliard, Indiana County Chamber of Commerce, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks, Todd.
We appreciate it. It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, WCCSradio.com. Fox News is coming up.